I'm Jacquire King. I'm talking to you from my studio in Franklin, Tennessee. I'm a producer, engineer, and mixer.
Hey guys, glad you dropped by. My name's Dave Pensado. I'm not really sure what the hell I do, but I like doing it, and have a little show and mix a few records. A few of them do well. Made a lot of friends, and I wish I was in Tennessee with Jacquire right now.
I'll go ahead. My name's Spencer Thompson. My primary gig is I'm in a band called Moon Taxi that I play guitar in and do the majority of production and occasional mixing. And then also I work with Jacquire a lot here in Nashville and do other outside production mixing work as well.
Hey guys, I'm James Nichols. I'm a blues rock guitar player. I'm based in Nashville, Tennessee as well. And I'm very, very new to the home recording game. I've spent the majority of my career touring. So this is all very fresh for me. And I'm super excited to be here. This is going to be awesome.
Hey everyone, my name is Elisa Ayerbe. I am a recording and mixing engineer from Colombia. I'm currently based here in Miami, and I have a home audio set up. Here is where I mix, here is where I do everything, and I'm excited to come here and share everything with you guys.
Cool. I guess I'll jump in right here. Did we miss anybody?
Nope, that's it. That's us.
We're going to try and give you some pointers. We're going to try and make the pathway to migration from a big studio to a small studio, maybe even a migration from your living room to your bedroom. And we've got several people here that I know well and several that I know of well. And I'm at the point now where I've left a big studio and left a medium-sized studio, and I found that I can be creative in a small room. It can be labeled a bedroom, it can be labeled a den or something like that, but I'm currently building up in there. And but one of the tips I'd like to share with you is it's doable, and it takes patience, it takes time to learn the room, but it's doable. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. A lot of times you can just put anything on the walls, like my dear friend 40 Shabib from Drake's camp. He used to, early on in Drake's career, he would select hotel rooms based on the duvet cover, and then he'd nail those on the walls. And a lot of the big records you heard were like that. And so hopefully today you'll see people telling you how they've got a studio that's now working and how that's come together. I'm about 10-15% into getting mine where I want it. Things change every day. And Maria, sounds to me like you're pretty much there with your studio. And Jared, I'm here because of the blues. I was a kid from a Spanish family that didn't speak English and or very well, and didn't know what I was going to do with my life. My mom had been giving me guitar lessons since age 2. She was real famous in Spain. And I heard Jimmy Reed, Bright Lights, Big City, and it was game over. I was a blues guy. Still am.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, so now if anybody's left after that soliloquy, let's keep going, I guess.
Well, I think.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Maria.
Thank you, Jacquire. I was going to add to the whole getting to know your room. I think it's tip number 1 if you're working for home. Get to know your room, but also just go ahead and watch as many tutorials as you need to get your room going in terms of acoustics. You don't have to spend all of your money trying to nail it exactly as you would in a professional environment, but absolutely just buy the essentials, get some acoustic treatment. There are cool packages that you can afford. And if you're into building your own stuff, you can also do that, advise yourselves well. But I think don't overspend in gear when your room is not acoustically treated. That would be my first advice.
I agree, 100%. I
would say, 20 2020 has changed a lot for us, and I think, you know, the migration to the home studio is natural just because of technology, but then it's also kind of become a little bit of a necessity. I mean, I have a very nice space, but it is a home studio essentially. I mean, Spencer's been here a lot. The room I'm in is, you know, by on paper, a 15 by 15 foot room, which is basically the size of a bedroom, is like, it's a square. It's not ideal, but, you know, like Dave and Maria are saying, it's like, you know, get in your space, start working, set up some speakers. Even if you're in a professional studio, you still need to kind of take away a reference. You need to learn the room, and then acoustic treatment. You know, other than what you see on the walls, I mean, these walls are just, you know, drywall, and it's just sort of a normal situation. So any space can really be adapted. And you know, I moved out of the big studio like 5 years ago into this. So a lot has changed over the 5 years, and I really feel like it's took half of that time to really get accustomed to and truly understand the space and the results I was getting. And, you know, and I messed with the speakers for a long time too. You know, probably the first 2 years I kept tweaking them and moving them. And so it is doable, just like, you know, and so I'd like to hear about, you know, like Jared, you know, Spencer and Jared, you guys, love to hear about your situations. You know, Spencer obviously has something that's established, and Jared, where are you at in your process?
Well, to be completely honest, I never even thought about that I'd ever have a home studio. But before everything with 2020, I was working with friends. You know, the band is based in Los Angeles, and I recently moved to Nashville. So it was a total fresh start. Literally, I got a set of KRKs, and I got a 57 and a 58 and a laptop. And I said, I have to make demos. I have to write with the band, and I have to figure it out myself. So what I ended up doing, not in this room, but the room, I did exactly what you guys are talking about. I started to figure out, okay, I can put the desk here. I can tweak it this way. And basically, I started from the ground up. And it's been a really cool and kind of beautiful experience to navigate it on my own, having a lot of friends with tips. But the reality is, I started from the bottom, you know, the bottom of the barrel. And it's been great. Now I have it to the point where, you know, I can send out a guitar track. I can send out a demo, a vocal, things I need to, which really helped me out considering I haven't left my house.
Awesome.
A tip from me, this is like my 4th or 5th home studio, and I hated them all. But this one's different. This one's different, and I can't figure out why. But a couple of things. I would recommend buying used gear. Get quality gear from a quality place, because you're going to grow, and you're going to want to get more. We always want more. You know, we always want the biggest boat, the fastest car, and the most tracks and converters. But plan on growth, and then it's much better to master the equipment you have now than go out and buy new equipment that you have to learn. So when I happened to be an artist for a while, we had one keyboard. It was a Korg Poly 6, and man, we knew that thing inside and out. We got a little money, bought a bunch of keyboards, and nobody could make them sound good. So it's not the quantity, or even the quality of the gear. It's just mastering it, you know. Jared can attest. He can play his guitar, set it down, and another guitar player come along, pick it up, and it'll sound completely different. And another thing is don't be afraid to be afraid. You know, just it's a process, and it should be fun. One of the tricks I do with myself is when I wake up in the morning. I live alone most of the time, and when I wake up in the morning, I get dressed up, I clean up, brush my teeth, shower. I don't comb my hair, but it makes me feel like I'm going to work. You know what I'm saying? And then when I walk in the room, it's got my things in it. It's got some old lava lamps I had from my very first home studio. I don't like to keep trophies around me too much because it scares me. So mostly it's just some cigar boxes from my grandfather who made cigars in Tampa. Just little things to make it mine. You know, I've got some artwork that I love, and make it so that it's as comfortable as an old pair of underwear. Sorry, Maria, but it's got to be comfortable. Like I can look at Jacquire right now, and he's so comfortable. He can rotate one way and have everything at his fingertips, rotate another, and he knows that room inside and out. And so we tend to kind of overcomplicate these things. Jared, congratulations, man. I have great respect for what you did. That's the way we all started. I'm guessing. I never went to a school, but I think all of us here can probably say there was never a time when we were in audio. We weren't in audio. You know, it's always been a part of all our lives, I'm sure. But I'm monopolizing. I'll stay quiet for a while. But the hardest thing in life is just to commit. The journey, the 20-foot journey from my sofa to my studio sometimes takes me weeks. And so commitment is the best tool you can have in life. Decisions, you make them. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But commitment will get you started, and then you're just buying stuff or getting stuff, and always get stuff that you can take to your next studio. Because I promise you, you will have a bigger next studio, and you'll be able to take it off the walls and put it there, and always be looking for an opportunity to make something better. And like Spencer said, there's so much quality information out there, but you have to be careful because there's a lot of bad information about everything out there. And if somebody's never driven a race car 200 miles an hour around a racetrack, don't watch a video about him to see how to drive a race car. You know, pick people that have had success, people that you trust, and people whose work you like. And there are exceptions to that rule. I'm on the internet a lot, and I run across a lot of guys that have never had anything, but they're sharp. They took the time to learn things, and I like the way they convey and say things. So do your homework. You know, if you don't enjoy it, change jobs, change careers, because this profession now has become something that requires a little bit of extra knowledge and a little bit of extra homework, and hopefully it's fun to you. It's fun to me. I've ripped off so much from Jacquire King, so.
No way.
Not nearly as much as
stolen.
He's tough, man. In fact, I want to lower that commission, you know, that I have to pay Jacquire. We'll talk about that later.
Well, I know. Thank you, Dave. I know that Spencer Spencer, you know, Spencer has a home studio, but you know he's got a young family, and his, you know, the threshold into his studio, you know, just like leads him right back into his house. I'd love to hear how your situation works for you, Spencer, and the sort of the realities of like how you start your day and get into mode.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's sort of like what Dave was saying. I've only ever worked from my house. I mean, for 10 years. This is like the fourth or fifth incarnation of a home studio I've had, and this is definitely the nicest that I've had. I mean, prior to this, it was more cubicle type things with no treatment, and a lot of that is, you know, because I mean, with the exception of this year, I'm constantly touring and traveling, and I work all the time on the road on production and mixing and stuff, and that's just a laptop and headphones, and I need to be able to take what I do here and instantly put it on there and work like that, and not be too reliant on, you know, room or equipment. Otherwise I'll, you know, spend half the year not working on production stuff or mixing stuff. So there's only so much, you know, of being tied to my room that I can even stomach in a normal situation when we are touring. But yeah, like Jacquire said, I mean, you know, my 2-year-old daughter and wife are 10 feet on the other side of the door in the kitchen. which has its challenges for sure. But overall, I mean, the pros versus cons of being able to not commute. I mean, I hate sitting in traffic and spending an hour doing that. It's just I drink coffee and like that, like I was saying, like Dave said, it is important to like pretend I'm going to my job. Like, you know, I get dressed and come down, have a routine, get up early in the morning, go into and try to keep generally normal hours. And then sometimes I'll come back in at night, which allows me to be, you know, more productive than if I left my place, you know. But there's something, you know, nice about having my family close by. And, you know, when I take a break, I can go visit with my daughter instead of not seeing her until I get home at 7. So that trade-off of kind of not having the privacy versus being able to ultimately spend more time with my family and see my kids more is definitely a plus for me.
Yeah. With a show of hands, how many of us have mixed a song in their underwear that made it on the radio?
Not me.
You too.
These are boxers, Jacquire.
But I work on my PJs all the time.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
good for you.
Okay.
Maria, how long have you been in your current room?
Jared told me earlier he prefers in the nude. He likes to go commando on the board.
Full nude. I haven't put on clothes in 10 months. This is the shirt.
You're only wearing a shirt today.
That's it.
How long have you been in your room, Maria?
It's gonna be 3 years and a half, and I just listening to you all. I just remembered that on Saturday I have a really good friend, a studio tech, is coming by because I bought a new set of panels, and there's been this fluttering echo thing that has been bothering me for a very long time. And the other day he was helping me out with something with my HDX card, and then we finally found where the flutter echo is. So now he's coming, and it was really funny just having two crazy people just clapping around the room. But finally we found it, so we're gonna play some acoustic treatment up there. And but it's been.
Is it a cloud, or is it from the ceiling?
Yeah, I have a cloud. So the panels that I bought have actually wood on the other side, and it's making like this flutter echo between the ceiling and the actual like
cloud,
wooden
yeah.
part of the cloud. So fortunately I have like this foam that we can use, but I also have a couple of panels that I bought. So I constantly keep I found spots where I keep tweaking and just listening the room and getting to know better. But most of the things that I do, and also as Spencer said, like this has been like probably my fourth iteration of home studio. Ever since I moved to the US, my first investment, no joke, was like a set of acoustic treatment that I have been enhancing. And the cool thing is that you can just dump it on a truck and move states like I did, and then you can just reinvent yourself all the time.